What's going on, MLB Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome back into the Quick Pitch MLB DFS podcast and live stream here for Friday's 14-game main slate. And James, we are back to the DraftKings slate. We had a one-stop day over on FanDuel. For those of you that enjoyed that, we appreciate you. But we are going back to FanDuel. If you have any, or going back to DraftKings, if you have any FanDuel questions and you're part of the Fantasy Alarm family, get in our Discord. We are more than happy to answer those FanDuel questions for you. But DraftKings is where I feel like the majority play, especially those who follow us, and we kind of, we dabble everywhere, so why not go back to what seems to be at least the most popular for now. 14 games. We got a lot to get into here.
Yeah, 14 games, no cores, some really good spots for offenses when you go down and look at some of the pitchers on the mound. Some really good pitchers on the slate, too, in pretty good spots in their own regard. So it should be a fun slate. 14 games, a lot of games, but we'll break it down for you and, shorten your player pool. Because again, like some of these games, like you can eliminate teams like Oakland. You can eliminate teams like, Yeah,
we'll get to it. We got Oakland on the top on this slate because Gerrit Cole is $10,700 as your top priced pitcher. Again, we've been targeting this Oakland team since they've, literally given up. That said, a rough outing last time out for Cole. He had a rough outing against Seattle a handful of starts ago, rough outing against Kansas City the start before that. In between there, Seattle and Tampa Bay, decent outing. So which Gerrit Cole do we think is showing up? My guess is the good one when it comes to going up against Oakland. The only guy above $10,000, Chris Bassett, is at home against Colorado. Lance McCullers is at home against Baltimore. Spencer Strider on the road against St. Louis, and Joe Musgrove on the road against Kansas City. Bieber on the road against Seattle. A lot of road pitchers for the top price guys here. Does that bother you at all?
No and yes, I guess. Like Cole on the road doesn't bother me considering how good of a pitcher's park it is.
Right.
Strider, upgrade in park for pitchers going to St. Louis. Tougher lineup, but a better park. Bieber, good park to pitch in. Musgrove, probably neutral, maybe a little worse, but it's a good offense to attack. So I think not particularly on this slate. I'm sure on a different slate it would, but not so much right now.
So we're obviously, of this group, is there anybody that you wouldn't pitch? I mean, obviously, I like the top three. I know we talked Baltimore, right, last night. They've been hitting right-handed pitching a little bit better. It took them a while, but they did eventually get to Lynn and ended up taking the win in a walk-off fashion against the White Sox tonight. But, McCullers did struggle against Atlanta, better against Oakland, now against Baltimore here at home. Bassett I like against Colorado. We know Cole, but how are you feeling about sort of that grouping? Anybody that you do like more than the others?
I mean, Cole, right off the bat, I think he's the guy. I know, again, he hasn't been that guy. I recognize that. He has not. But when he's going good, he's very dominant. Oakland has been absolutely dreadful. Every pitcher under the sun has been good against them. I don't expect it to change just given who they have.
Right.
It just is what it is right now for Oakland. I do like Bassett quite a bit. We were talking about it last night with DeGrom, and I get it. DeGrom is a different animal than Chris Bassett, but Colorado just doesn't hit right-handed pitching, and they just don't do well really outside of course. So I really like Bassett.
At home this year too, 2.55 ERA, averaging 21.5 DraftKings points on the year. So
yeah, it's a really good pitcher's environment in Citi Field. And I like McCullers. I don't like him as much as the other two. I love the pitch count already being where it is, 2 starts into his campaign. I like the strikeouts, honestly. 11 innings, 11 strikeouts. Don't like the walks. That's obviously a little concerning.
Yeah.
This is a good park for Baltimore, I think, in terms of their power, because we talked about it last night when we were talking about Mancini, in similar fashion, the park upgrade would have helped Mancini, and now we're seeing the fruits of that now that he's in Houston. Well, this powerful team that's kind of taking a step back in power because their park stinks.
Right. Now
traveling to a good park, scary. And Lance Lynn had a field day against him today and was a very big time scorer in fantasy points. So I'll say the same thing again I said last night. I see both sides of the coin. Sure. I can see myself playing McCullers. I can also see myself staying away and playing some Baltimore guys.
Yes, again, I'm not really an on-strider here against St. Louis. Musgrove against Kansas City, certainly a bit appealing. I know he's struggled lately as well. Good start last time out against Washington. hit up a little bit against Miami. Obviously, home against Colorado, they got to him. He's got a 4.65 ERA over his last 10, but this should be a spot where I would expect him to bounce back a bit.
Yeah, Strider, tough to use. Musgrove, Bieber. Do you have a preference of the two?
Not really. Maybe Musgrove. I think Kansas City's lineup's a little bit worse.
Yeah, and remember when they used to not strike out? Remember when that was a thing earlier in the year?
Yeah, they backed the striking out a lot.
Yeah, sixth highest strikeout rate in August against right-handed pitching.
Yeah, you get a younger lineup in there. They swing and miss a little bit more. So, yeah, makes sense. Under 8K. I'm sorry, under 9K. Detmers on the road against Toronto. Probably not going to run.
Nope.
Freddie Peralta home against the Cubs, kind of appealing. We talked a lot. Milwaukee, just much better team when they're at home. Yep. Waka at home against Tampa Bay. A little revenge. Waka himself has pitched really well since returning. Back-to-back shutout outings for Michael Waka, so $8,500 against Tampa Bay, looking pretty good there. Cueto's at home against Arizona. Alex Wood's on the road against Minnesota, and Logan Gilbert's down to $8,100 against.
I think Peralta is the one guy that stands out the most to me in this tier. The Cubs offense just looks so bad in a spot Thursday that they.
He just faced them 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, and they just had such a good spot against Dakota Hudson, and Dakota Hudson goes 8 innings, 2 runs against them.
Right.
Only Ian Happ was the only damage all day. You know, they're not necessarily striking out all that much, 22.8%. They've been kind of league average against right-handed pitching, but like the large sample against pitching, it's just this Cubs offense is just not doing it. And Freddie Peralta has looked good since returning. Pitch counts back up. I don't hate Waka. Tampa Bay's offense kind of clicking right now, too.
Yeah.
That's a little scary, so I think tournaments only. Logan Gilbert being 8,100 is crazy.
Cueto's been really good lately.
Cueto
doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but he's pitching deep into games. 8 innings or more in 3 of the last 4, almost through a complete game shutout against Cleveland. 8 2/3. They took him out of that game there, but no strikeouts, but still being productive.
It's always scary playing someone who doesn't strike people out, but like if he's getting outs, he's getting outs, right? Like I think the difference for me is like we were talking about this similar thing with like James Caprillion earlier in the year, right? He was going like 6 innings, but he was striking out 1.
Yeah.
Like Cueto's going 8 innings.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Arizona doesn't strike out either. They have like the lowest strikeout rate against right-handed pitching.
True. That's a good point. Justin Steele against Milwaukee, just saw it. 6 innings, 2 hits allowed, no earned runs, 9 strikeouts. As we've talked to him, Milwaukee is a little bit better at home. That said, he did face them in Milwaukee earlier and had another strong start there. 6 2/3, just 1 earned run, 9 strikeouts. So we talked lefties against Milwaukee, high strikeout rate. Justin Steele pitching really well. I know it's up against Freddie Peralta as you like him on the other side of that coin, but if we're looking to spend down a little bit on a big slate, I mean, Steele's really showing some nice upside. Over 20 fantasy points in 3 of 4. The one he didn't, he still had 19. So,
I mean, has there been like a more under the radar 2.14 ERA over a 10 start span than Justin Steele? Like that's really freaking good, man. Like 2.14 in a 10 start span, that's elite, to be honest. He's only given up 2 home runs over that span too. Like there's not a lot of power.
67 strikeouts and 54.
Or four home runs, sorry. Yeah, 67 strikeouts, right. I mean, like you said, yes, Milwaukee has been better at home. This is, get this, this will be his 6th start against Milwaukee this year.
Really? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just clicked on
He has 33 strikeouts in 25 2/3 innings, a 2.10 ERA, averaging almost 20 fantasy points a game. Like, that is a great sample and a great SP2 at 76.
He had 1 bad start in Milwaukee, 3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, or 2 earned, just 4 strikeouts. But other than that, yeah, he's been pretty strong against them this year. But
we've talked about lefties against Milwaukee, right now. 31.7% strikeout rate against lefties this month.
Yeah, I like it. San Francisco has been a team that we've been kind of targeting with strikeouts. I don't know what your thoughts are on Joe Ryan. 3 of his last 4 starts have been serviceable. 28, 19, and 19 got lit up by the Dodgers in LA, but back home, right? And home games for him this year, 2.95 ERA. What are your thoughts here on Joe Ryan?
I like him. I think he's super consistent. And like you said, San Francisco's offense is not one, especially against, I think we look at them more when it's a lefty on the mound. San Francisco this month against right-handed pitching, 22nd OPS. I guess they're a little better in the power department. All of their runs are coming in the power department. They're like 9th in ISO, but 22nd in WOBA or 23rd in WOBA, 22nd in OPS. They're exploitable. So as long as Joe Ryan keeps the ball in the yard, he's going to be very serviceable here.
Any value for you? 7K or under?
Ooh, I mean, I really like the Tommy Henry, the player, but it's a tough spot against the White Sox. So, I got somebody. And I think he's making his major league debut. Cade Cavalli, he was a consensus top 50 prospect across all platforms, Baseball Prospectus, Baseball America, all of it, MLB.com. He has a bunch of strikeouts in the minor leagues, 104 strikeouts in 97 innings. He's pitched a 3.70 ERA in AAA this year. He's pitched at 3 different ranks, too. He's started at A-ball. I mean, this is a guy a lot of people are excited about, and he gets a bad team
Cincinnati.
On the road. Look, we have done this, right? Brian Bayo wasn't great to start. We've had a couple pitchers this year just not do it when they first get called up. But unfortunately for them, they were never facing the Cincinnati Reds for their debuts. So,
I think listen, 14 games. If you're trying to play up for Cole and pay up for some of ththese other bats, I mean, Cavalli probably helps you get there. So I'm with you there. I got no other value. I don't know if you wanted to throw any honorable mentions out there.
I mean, I'm looking Glenn Otto, but he gets Detroit. He's allowed 2 earned or less in 4 straight starts. So maybe there's some upside there, right? Maybe we're seeing signs of life.
That's fine.
And at home for a win, but other than that, no thanks.
A catcher, something we didn't have to deal with today.
I know. Hold on. Can we talk about this? Can we go back to FanDuel? Are we,
I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah, okay. Kirk at 44 against Detmers. We're talking about righty-lefties potential matchup. I like that. Sure. Let's see. Where else are we going down here? Danny Jansen homer today if he finds himself in the lineup instead of Kirk. Could go there.
Jonah Heim, 4,100. He's been really good against lefties this year.
Sure. Darno gets Quintana at 34.
Yep.
We've been playing a lot of Darno.
Yeah, we have been playing a lot of Darno. And I was going to suggest William Contreras, who's also hit lefties well, but he's $1,100 more.
Yeah.
And Darno hits 5th, and again, $1,100 less. So, yeah.
We like Waka, but if Betancourt's in a lineup at 27, he's been hitting the ball well.
Yep. He started today. I don't know what they're doing. If they're just playing guys every other game, I don't really know. They're just hey guys, you guys are both good. You're gonna play every other day. But I mean, Tampa's whatever they do is correct. So
the last 2 days I've played Sebi. Was it Zavala? Is that how we're
Zavala? Yeah.
2,200 gets a lefty righty matchup here against Henry. We know we like White Sox against lefties. I know you mentioned liking Henry a bit, but not in this spot, as you said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, Henry's a good prospect, but the White Sox are one of the best teams in baseball against lefties, and it's been that way all year. So I don't hate Zavala.
They hit Zavala 9th, but as we talk about wraparound, the other day he had 2 hits and a hit and 3 walks. So he's not bad. He's hitting 375 with 1,000 OPS over his last 10 games. I mean, not too shabby at all.
Trevino would probably be my last mention. He hits lefties extremely well, 3K.
Sure. First base then. Let's get this over with here. Ohtani, Goldschmidt, up top at 6K, Vladdy at 57, Drury against a lefty at 54.
Interesting, and not in San Diego either.
San Diego. I'm still a little bit confused. Jose Abreu is 4K, so
yes, they're going to be.
We're going to lose money on the White Sox again tonight, aren't we?
John, every time this happens, it's every single time.
Can't help.
I can't. I don't blame you for it. Are they? Where are we? Oh, they're in Chicago too.
Yeah.
Chicago's been on fantasyalarm.com. If you go over to the ballpark track, so Chicago, as I scroll, because they're
hitting 459 by the way his last 10 games. So.
That's quite good. If you had to guess, on a runs per game basis, where guaranteed rate park ranked, what would you guess?
7th.
4th. So complete hitter's environment against the lefty, where we know the White Sox thrive. Looking at the splits, Tommy Henry, 3-0. There's just not a lot of good numbers against him. Yeah, and not a lot of good stuff against him. But again, it's a very small sample. Jose Abreu, 314, 406 WOBA against left-handed pitching this year.
Miranda gets the lefty matchup. We've talked about him. The power there is against left-handed pitching. He's at 4K. Let's see. Lowe gets a lefty, so we can't go back to our boy Nathaniel, unfortunately. Vogelbach gets cool at 3,800. Vaughn hit leadoff today and led off with a home run. He's $3,600.
Thankfully, multi-position eligibility once again.
Outfield again. Thankful for that. Anybody else for you? Anybody that you like here?
Honestly, not really.
Pujols is lower, but I don't know if we're gonna go back to that.
Yeah, and like I know he's been great, but like
tougher slot.
Yeah, maybe Michael Chavis 2K with a Bailey Falter on the mound. They got a lefty there. Yeah. Actually, you know what? We might want to Bailey Falter 6,700, John.
Strikeouts, you think?
Yeah, he's been really good in back-to-back starts. One being against Pittsburgh. It was before he got sent down. Then he got called up against the Mets. 6 innings, 1 run against the Mets.
He faced the Pirates already. 6 innings, 2 earned, 8 strikeouts.
Yep. So maybe we retract their no value
comment, and you play
and play Bailey Falter.
Yep. Falter and Cavazos. So,
yep.
All right, I can swing it. So again, we like the top 3 first basemen here. I think maybe less Guerrero, more Ohtani.
Yep.
Mid-tier guys that we're in on Abreu, Miranda, and for value, we're in on Vaughn.
For sure.
And let's see, anybody else down here? Did we mention Pujols? Maybe a dart throw, but
I mean, if you want to play Will Myers as a first baseman,
sure.
He's been decent, but look at the upside. There's been none.
Yeah, I agree with you.
One home run.
Mountcastle at 4K.
Mountcastle at 4K. Yeah, wait, where's Mancini against Baltimore? 3,900. Oh, he's outfield only now.
Bigger slate. They changed his position on us. So
okay. Sure.
Second base. Altuve's at 54. Rojas at 53. Brendan Rodgers at 52. Semion's at 51. Marte's at 5K. I mean, Altuve's...
Yeah, the Bradish splits. The Bradish splits have been righty.
Yeah.
He's been a reverse splits guy this year, I think. Bradish, 357 average to righties, 1,000 OPS, 436 WOBA to right-hand bats.
No one's going to play Jimenez. They never do, but I still don't mind it.
Nope. And Gilbert, listen, I like Logan Gilbert, the pitcher, but Logan Gilbert has not been that great this year. He has not taken the leap that I think...
He had a stretch, but
he did have a stretch.
It feels like he's regressed a bit. 5.27 ERA over his last 10 games.
Yep.
For Logan Gilbert. Control problems. Didn't walk anybody last time out, but has been putting some guys free passes. So Jimenez can steal. He's got some power. And the last couple times I've played him, he's been 3%. So I'm down using that as a pivot play if you want to go in that direction. Mid-tier. I know you've been playing a lot of Jeff McNeil lately.
Yeah, man. I mean, he just hits baseballs. And Chad Kuhl's, I don't know if they're,
could you matter? Von Grissom's still under $3,000 again.
Yeah, it doesn't. It ultimately does not matter. That's correct. I don't think you can win a tournament with Jeff McNeil. Right?
He'll need multiple bases clearing doubles.
Yeah, I don't know if there's winning upside, but cash game's perfectly fine, and you could place really well in a tournament with Jeff McNeil. You might win a tournament with Jeff McNeil. He's not going to be the guy that
with McNeil as I do Segura and Gleiber. I think they're all sort of similar.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gleyber, because they're in Oakland more so, he hits lefties really well. He has this year at least. So, and I think there's just more power with Gleyber. At least that's what he's shown this year. Yeah. But in that park, it's not the greatest. But I say that, and they have 10 runs in 5 innings tonight. So,
yep. And like I said, Grissom's at 27.
That's ultimately. Yep.
We're just gonna play Grissom. Yep. Third base: Machado, Devers, Ramirez, Arenado's day to day. Riley's at 54. Bregman's at 48. Loaded first base position as always. How are you picking between the group?
I mean, it's loaded, but Machado 6,100. I don't know. I don't think I can get there. Devers has not been the same guy.
Nope.
And same could be said really for the whole Red Sox offense.
Except for tonight against Kevin Gausman.
Don't open up, don't lick the open wounds.
So are we just gonna go back to Bregman then?
Probably Bregman. The righty splits are on both sides. Yeah. He's been better against righties. Bradish has been significantly worse against right-handed bats. So, yeah, it's probably going back to Bregman.
Yep. Probably true. Probably just Bregman at 48. Again, I don't mind certain stacks if you want to throw Riley out there. We just we stand for us and Riley. So It works. Mid-tier range. They sat Bohm today. He's got Wilson at 43.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great spot.
Yeah, LeMay.
Philly back in. We didn't really mention any Philly guy until now, but like they're all in play again. It's going to be a popular stack.
Yep. LeMayu, if you want to go Yankees at 46 in the mid-tier there. We've talked to Miranda. You've also, and it's come through tonight once again, Josh Donaldson on the road.
Yep, Josh Donaldson on the road. 2 for 3, 3 runs scored, RBI walk tonight. So I'm telling you, man, the guy just can't hit Yankee Stadium, but he hits everywhere else.
Yep. So you can certainly play that at 39. Value. Solano, if you're not in on Cabale, right? 3,100, we just keep playing him.
Yep.
Plugging away.
Yep.
That's it for me, though.
Brian Hayes off the IL, gets a lefty. I know we like Bailey Falter, but 3,400 for Brian Hayes. All he's done is hit lefties. Like, he has not hit anybody else this year, so I would play that.
Okay.
But
I'll probably find myself playing Miranda at 4K here if I'm not playing Bregman.
Probably. I would probably also have tournament lineups with Donaldson because I think the Yankees are pretty fairly priced everywhere, and they get a matchup against a guy they traded in JP Sears, who, he's been good, but he does not miss bats. Like, he does not miss bats, and that's really scary against the Yankees lineup that, like,
stand back, so
can be good, right? Get stand back, and they have 10 runs. Like, is that a coincidence? I don't know, but everybody in their lineup has a hit. They have 10 runs.
Yep. Shortstop. Seager's at the very top at 57. Lindor's at 56. Swanson against a lefty at 53. Correa against a lefty at 5K. Bo Bichette had a okay night tonight, $4,900 against Detmers. Thoughts on that grouping?
Bo ended up with an elite night because he stole a base.
Hey.
So he ended up with a much better
Who
night
won that game? Did Toronto win or what?
It was 6-5 Toronto in 10.
Okay.
Seager's too expensive, but I guess if you want to play it,
he
has power.
Lefty spot though, so
he has power against everybody.
Yeah.
I think he has hit like lefties with a lot of power this year. Can you see yourself paying 56 for Lindor?
No.
I don't really want to. Also, I feel the same about Swanson, but he's been good, and but I don't think I'm going there. I think Correa's too expensive too. There's like no power there.
I like a lot of these top guys, if I'm being
honest. I think Chet for tournaments, and then
what do you think about Kim against
it's basically Ha-Seong Kim.
Yeah. $4,300.
And then it's our boy Bryson Stott.
Stott's there. He's been hitting the ball well against Wilson at 4K. Pena 3,800 if you want to just keep going back to Houston. Certainly a guy that we can take a deeper look at for sure.
Yep. Kevin Newman 3,300. He hits lefties really well.
Yeah, just like again a singles hitter. So
he hit a home run last game. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, first home run. No thanks.
First home run.
Maybe Andrews at 20.
I was gonna say White Sox. If you're building on a White Sox stack, maybe Elvis Andrus.
Yeah, not bad. He hit the bottom of the lineup today, but Edmund Sosa, you poo-pooed him earlier today, but he had 3 RBI.
So. He stinks. Go to outfield. Right,
outfield.
Bring out the dancing lobsters.
Outfield. Where are you going? Judge 62.
Yeah, Judge for sure. 62.
Homers the day after everybody played him as chalk.
Dude, it is just. He's gonna be. This is Schwarber breakdown. Ready?
Yeah.
Everyone plays him on FanDuel, every slate, so like you never miss, or there's just always. Yeah. But you can never play him on DraftKings because he's this price, and he's gonna go 0 for 4. You're like, unless you're
multi-entry lineups, yeah.
So he's gonna be extremely affordable and popular on FanDuel because Bryce Wilson is terrible.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna be underowned. And in multi-entered lineups on DraftKings, and that's what do we got?
Bryce Harper will be reinstated.
Oh yeah, he's coming back. I forgot. So
and he homering
twice. Yeah, in one game, right? I think
5 for 8 with 2 homers, 2 doubles. So
he hit the 2 home runs in one game, and then there was like an outcry, like why is he in the minors? Like, okay, question then: does this make us more inclined to play Phillies? Like
just like we've been playing Phillies the last 3 games,
right? And this just makes this lineup like so much better.
I will certainly be having Bryce Harper shares.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
For sure.
Agreed. Harper or Schwarber?
Harper was a monster.
Yeah. He was the MVP. And
he was going to be the MVP if he didn't hurt himself. So
Back to go. He might go back to back. Well, and until Goldschmidt started using the MJ secret stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm currently at with Harper.
Okay.
Springer keeps hitting $5,400. He gets lefty spot. I'm down there. I mentioned Stanton if you want to go with it. It's cool. Marte's okay against Kuhn, but not really a spend up. Too expensive for me.
Yep.
Again, tried to outfield in general. I'm in on.
Yep. Same with the White Sox. I think we're going to mention. We could just stop it here and just mention.
Yeah, Roberts.
All four of them.
As if they're out there.
Pollock will lead off most likely, and then Vaughn is also outfield eligible. Mm-hmm. So all of them. Yep,
they're all definitely in play for sure. Nimmo's 47. If you like the Mets against Cool.
Yep.
Profile gets a lefty against Bubic. I know we're generally big fans of Llanos 45, going back to the Philly well. If you wanted it there, let's see, value.
I will say we're not going to attack Shane Bieber with a lot of players, I suspect. But Mitch Haniger is just hitting home runs against everybody right now. So
he hits better against righties this year too.
Yeah. So. I took Tristan McKenzie deep today. And Tristan McKenzie's a very good pitcher. Righties have been a little better against Bieber this year.
Yeah, contrarian, obviously.
Yeah, sure. Very contrarian.
Yeah, Jimenez is 39, as we mentioned. Could certainly do that. Mancini, your boy's at 39 against Bradish.
Yep.
I think that's probably going to be a core-ish potential
love that
play for us. Riley Green at 35. Verdugo, if that game plays, Boston potentially has some weather there at $3,500. Could find his way into a lineup. You mentioned Pollock's at 34. Now we're in on the White Sox. Let's see.
Our boy is 3K.
Where's Jake?
3K.
Easy. $3,000 against Cato. He's
375 average.
He's slow to the mound, to the plate.
Yep.
With his hitch and his delivery, could easily steal a bag there. So yeah, we're in on McCarthy there for sure. Anybody else? Any value for you?
Fraley 27 against Cade Cavalli. I like Cade Cavalli, but Fraley's been a monster.
Nootbaar will lead off, but it's against stretch strong.
Yeah, that's why I was tentative to go Nootbaar. He's been great.
Yeah,
I just was a little tentative because I am a Spencer Strider stan.
Yeah.
So I probably won't go there, but I completely understand why somebody would. I'd probably just go Fraley instead for $100 less.
That's fair.
But I don't think no, Jackie Bradley gets a lefty. I was going to say, all you sickos at Fantasy Alarm, you mentioned it on the podcast, Jackie Bradley. Then Vreeland's typing in Discord. Then I see the...
He didn't even play
it. I know, didn't play, but I see the value vault, Jackie Bradley Jr. Then I go over the playbook, Pete Cole at the bottom of the playbook. Last player in, Jackie Bradley. I'm like, people and your Jackie Bradley Jr.
He was on fire, but
on fire. Guy has a 3-game hitting streak. It's his career best.
Hey, Jackie Bradley Jr. used to be one of the streakiest players in baseball. He had a 21-game hitting streak one time. So back in the day. All right, home run.
I should just go Bregman. You know what? I'm gonna go with a little revenge narrative, and it's good revenge because Trey Mancini had nothing bad to say about the Baltimore Orioles during his departure. But first game against his old team, it's gonna be a lot of emotions. Against a guy who struggles against right-handed pitching or right-handed hitters. I'm going to go Mancini hits one against his old team.
All right, you're leaving me Bryce Harper. I appreciate that. I'm going to go Bryce Harper. We're going to go there. You got Mancini, I got Harper. Let's go and now build our lineup.
Gerrit Cole.
First question here.
Gerrit Cole.
Okay. Are we going...
I'm sorry. It's all, dude, they're just...
No, are we going Cavalli? Or are we going Steele? Are we going Falter?
How do you feel? What is your opinion? We have attacked... both those teams ad nauseum, being Pittsburgh with a lefty, and we've also attacked Milwaukee with lefty.
Falter feels like the best chance to get a win.
You brought up the point about Milwaukee better at home.
Yeah.
Which is playing against Steele, but he's faced him a million times this year.
And he keeps striking them out. There's a lot
I think that there's probably more upside with Justin Steele, but Bailey Falter, 22 and 18 fantasy points last 2 games at 6,700. That would be a...
And again, I feel like they're in a really good spot to get him. I can't guarantee that Cavalli wins that matchup against Cincinnati. I can't guarantee that Steele gets a win against Milwaukee and Peralta.
I agree.
So I'm going to go Falter. I think he's got the better win equity in that matchup. That leaves us $4,000 per player. I'm going to punt catcher. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
With Sevi.
With Sevi, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think we're going to punt second because we didn't really like the position either. And we're going to go
we're
with
not
Grissom.
Punting second. We're playing the best second baseman on the board.
Fair.
Which is Vaughn Grissom.
Fair point.
Can you go to FanDuel real quick and just tell me what they have in price tag? Because he had been one of the top price guys at the position.
Yep. He is on FanDuel. He is $3,400.
Yeah. So probably one of the top guys there. So
yep.
So yeah, we're punting catcher with Sebi. We're gonna go Vaughn Grissom because he's really good at $2,700. That gives us $4,600 a position. You want to play Mancini, I imagine here. Your home run call, right?
Yeah. I think there's a mini stack there with Mancini, Bregman.
I'm gonna play my home run call on Harper.
Bryce. Okay.
Okay, that still gives us $4,500 a play. You want to go Bregman at 48? I'm down.
I think we're gonna agree about Jose Abreu at first too. I don't think that's like
that wasn't an argument at all, and we're still under the $4,400 a player, which is where we're at. So we have 46.5 for a shortstop, and we hated all of the top shortstops.
Bryson Stott
to go with the stack, right?
It's either Stott or sticking with a White Sox theme, going Andrus, but I think Stott's the play here.
Okay, if we go Stott, we get Luis Robert for $5K.
So we get our 3-man White Sox, 2-man Astros,
2-man Philly, and a 1-off on Grissom because he's the best player on the board.
I mean, again, it's like Vaughn Grissom has been in, I feel like, more winning lineups than he hasn't been since being called up.
It makes no sense that he's as cheap as he is.
It does. No, it makes sense.
No, right.
Football's coming up.
Right. 378, 924 batting average the last 10 games. Sure, he went 0-for-5 against Pittsburgh yesterday. Big whoop. 13 points, 5 points, 10 points, 17. He's under $3,000. So yeah. So final lineup with $300 left over. If we need to make any adjustments, obviously we will. Gerrit Cole, Bailey Falter at pitcher. Zebi Savala at catcher, punting at $2,200. Jose Abreu at $4K. Vaughn Grissom at $27 at second base. Alex Bregman at $48 at third base. Bryson Stott at $4K at shortstop. Trey Mancini at $3,900 in the outfield. Bryce Harper at $5,700 in the outfield. Oof. And Luis Robert at $5K in your outfield. That is your lineup for the live stream podcast. We've had some decent success when we haven't had to change it. The last 2 days, guys have been ruled out. We had to change it. When we've been able to stick with the one lineup we've made here, we've had success. So I'm going to go ahead and assume we're going to be locked in here. For those of you watching, make sure you check out the MLB DFS playbook that comes out. Justin Vreeland's on that for Friday. You get access to our premium Discord as well. As long as you are a member of the Fantasy Alarm, as we've mentioned plenty of times before, we have a fantastic offer going on right now. You can click the link in the description of this YouTube video. 50% off the first 6 months of action here for all of our DFS content. Takes you through the NFL season. It's like $19.99 a month, something like that. 50% off the first 6 months. Use promo code NFL Pro. So make sure you go ahead. Sorry, NFL 50. Promo code NFL 50. Make sure you check that out. We got everything coming down for you. Last year we had a millionaire, by the way, for the NFL season back in week 3. So
named Mike.
Yeah, Millionaire Mike, it is true. And we had a lot of other winners there as well, but it's always nice to tout a milli winner. So you got to go there. NFL 50 is a promo, our all-pro access package. You can get it, again, in the link in the description here. And it gives you access to our premium Discord, access to all of our DFS content, not just baseball, not just the NFL, NBA starting up, NHL starting up. We have NASCAR written by the 3-time NASCAR Writer of the Year. PGA is coming to an end, but it starts up again in like 3 weeks, the new season. So we got PGA, DFS as well. We got esports, DFS, you name it, we cover it. So definitely got to be part of the family as we head into the upcoming seasons. James, any final words of thought for people listening?
No, John, other than happy Friday. And we'll be back with these videos next week on Monday. And I hope everyone has a great and safe and amazing weekend with their families and their friends and, everyone else.
Yep. All right. We'll catch you guys later.